Hey, this is Niels on Dynasty, looking like Doc Brown this morning. Be kind, helpful, grateful. Like, share, subscribe. Buy some silver platinum, some crystallized osmium. None of this is financial advice. It's solid, sound, good advice, but not financial. Uh, you can trust me more than you can trust Andy Schectman. Yeah, because Neil's been saying South Africa's GDP is crap. Andy Schectman says South Africa GDP is freaking off the hook great and it runs the world, blah, blah, blah. BRICS is great. Okay, here's a South African fixing to tell you what Neil's been telling you.
Let me be direct about what we're facing. South Africa's government, ANC, has aligned itself with the Islamist terrorists. We're talking Hamas, Hezbollah, Iran, Islamic Jihad. And this isn't speculation. It's documented, detailed, and dangerous. And while you're paying high taxes, losing jobs, begging for electricity, Durko is shaking hands with jihadists. How does that put South Africa first? Here's what you need to understand, and the evidence is clear. South Africa has the smallest GDP in the G20.
South Africa has the smallest GDP out of all of the G20. The only reason they're in the G20 is because they're part of BRICS. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in the G20 because their economy sucks. They don't have a great GDP. Sorry, Andy Schectman. They don't.
A country has been included only for a symbolic African presence, not substance. Trump-aligned US policy circles are calling for our expulsion from the G20 on grounds of ANC and state-sponsored terrorism.
That's
names.
South Africa.
Ibrahim Rasool, ANC stalwart and Muslim cleric, was reappointed ambassador to the US early 2025. He publicly praised Hamas founder Sheikh Yassin, calling him one of the greatest inspirations, and endorsed fighting under the flag of Islam. Rasool hosted Mohammed Nazal, a Hamas leader designated by the US as a key terror financier. And in 2015, the lovely Rasool played a central role in reuniting Hamas and Fatah, winning praise from Ismail Haniyeh, later honored in a Cape Town mosque after being killed by Israel in 2024. Rasool's organization, World for All Foundation, is registered in Virginia at the same address as SAFA, a financial front in the FBI investigation for backing Hamas, Al-Qaeda, Hezbollah, and Islamic Jihad. Rasool was also part of Al-Quds Day, a Hezbollah celebration event where he appeared alongside Iran's foreign minister, Ayatollah Khomeini's daughter, senior Hamas and Islamic Jihad officials, and during his first stint as ambassador, Rasool spent more time organizing Islamist-run US Muslim groups than doing any actual diplomacy. He also has deep ties to Pakistan's Jamaat-e-Islam, infamous for its massacres in Bangladesh during the 1971 war. Let me put that in perspective. He wasn't an ambassador, he was an ideological operative, and the ANC knew it. Let me give you a reality check here. Rasool's appointment was not an accident. Durko, the foreign ministry, is full of ANC Islamists, and this influence comes straight from the ANC's exile years, when they allied with lovely people like Gaddafi, the PLO, Iran's Ayatollah, Soviet-backed Marxist Islamists. The ANC still sees Israel as an apartheid clone and embraces any group that fights the West. Let's talk about the power players. Zain Dangor, now Durko Director General, is one of the most powerful, unelected officials in the country. He's openly hostile to the Jewish community, calling critics anti-human rights while ignoring Hamas rocket attacks. Naledi Pandor, Durko minister from 2019 till last year, converted to Islam and actively coordinated with Hamas and Iran. She held secret meetings with Hamas and Hezbollah representatives before filing genocide charges against Israel at the ICJ. She consulted Ronnie Kasrils, who praised the October 7th massacre as a brilliant guerrilla warfare attack. And she threatened to arrest South African Jews for fighting with the IDF, even though no such law exists. Naledi. Durko isn't a department, it's a cleansed platform for pro-Iranian propaganda, funded by shadowy channels we're not allowed to question. How does this affect you? South Africa has lost over 400 million US dollars in annual American aid because of the ANC's pro-Hamas stance. UCT and WITS have lost massive academic funding, putting hundreds of jobs at risk for the same reason. And MTN, South Africa's telecom giant, owns 49% of an Iranian telecom carrier and is now being sued under the US Anti-Terrorism Act. And guess who was the former chairman of MTN? Our very own spineless Cyril Ramaphosa. MTN is accused of collaborating with the Iranian Revolutionary Guards, funding operations that killed American soldiers in Iraq. And yet, the ANC government still pushes Iran's BRICS membership, hugs Hezbollah reps, and invites Hamas to tour our campuses.
Phew, yeah. Anyone who'd back South Africa will back Iran. Watch out for these big YouTubers that want to make money off you and tell you lies. Have a nice night.